This is not
What?
easy. Go, just start going with the go.
What? You got rid of it? You and
know
your
what
mouse
that
pad?
was.
How much room do you need? We're live, by the way.
Are we really?
Yeah.
How long have we been live?
Long enough. Hello and welcome to the Salutio Hour of Power. I'm one of your hosts, Al Urok.
Seriously, I want to know how long we've been live.
Long enough.
8
Here
seconds.
with me is
9
Travis
seconds, 10 seconds.
Gear,
Yep.
one of the other co-owners of Salutio. We're here with you live in our studio.
There's
That's
a light.
mega upgrades. And with the coronavirus happening and all that kind of stuff, the state of Kansas, we applied for a grant for our building, OEL, the Ora et Labora space.
Yes.
And are you with us?
I'm trying. It's all there's a lot of brightness that didn't used to be here. I'm a little distracted. I'm pretty sure that when this is all over, I'm going to have a square burned into each eye from this light. But I think it's worth it because I look great.
Do you?
I look great.
You look great. You're wonderful. So we got a grant from the state of Kansas to upgrade our studio. So we got all kinds of fancy things. I can't show you yet because we don't have a studio cam, but I think we'll eventually have one of those.
Yeah.
And we can have, I don't know.
I'm like embossed.
It's super fancy.
I'm embossed.
You're a boss?
Well, that too. But like it's awesome. It's like we're embossed against the screen.
Well, welcome to the show where we answer your questions about website stuff.
Yes.
Let's see here. You can go to the website salutiosoftware.com/power
Yep.
and ask your question.
.com/
I think it's all on there and
power.
stuff.
I'm just making sure.
I think I clicked that watch on YouTube. Make sure we're up and
Oh,
going.
this is Pat.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Okay.
So there's an ask your question button. You can ask it on YouTube in the chat window or ask it on that site, and we'll get it either way. And
Yeah, last time we had pretty good participation.
we did
through the
interactive.
chat.
Yeah, people were speaking to us.
It's good.
So there you go.
It was good. It was good.
So here we are. Lent's coming up.
Yeah.
We're right there.
Oh, yeah.
Very popular time for website stuff.
They're going to sprinkle ashes in your hair.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think this is broadcast to the world, so I agree with the Pope.
Okay.
The Pope is the one that came from Rome.
Yeah, I get it. What do you think about it?
I think
Give me a hot take. I want a hot take.
if it produces the same effect, it's good.
Same effect?
It actually,
No, it doesn't actually.
doesn't
No,
produce-
the effect actually is literally different. It's very different. It's going to be up here.
The question
and then the
is-
effect would be there's a cross there.
Are we doing it for ourselves or are we doing it for the show?
Well, I think survey would say probably for the show.
I
the
agree.
Show, considering it's not a holy day of obligation, but yet
The busiest
churches
day
are
of the
packed.
year. Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
so-
a show.
I don't care. I mean, yeah, I would like there to be more visible signs of Christianity in the world. I think that's always a good thing.
Well, I mean, it's sprinkling.
But in some
right?
ways,
Well, how does it work
This
with like,
is going to your room and praying as opposed to
that's the whole thing of Ash Wednesday.
walking
That's why
around and
everybody goes and gets it.
banging the drum.
I-
Like, like the news folks on like the news shows and the sports shows, and they have like the biggest, it's like they went
Yeah,
home.
that
They're
everybody
like,
gets
Father
it."
didn't get it good enough. I'm going to use my own ashes and I'm going to make my own.
No, surely people don't do that.
I
do they?
guarantee you people do that.
They could be in makeup or whatever. and
Right,
go get it
yeah.
done.
Throw me, yeah, no, Father really did a bad job. Why don't you
No way.
make up Susie?
No.
Fix it? Yeah.
Well, they're going to do it. What are they going to do this time around?
Right.
Do you think they'll do it? Do you think they'll cheat? They'll do
No,
it?
they won't cheat.
Well, I mean,
Because
like,
then it'll
technically,
be
right?
like-
He's
'cause then
sprinkling
it'll
it,
be
right? So, like, what? There's
too
going to be a little stuff right on your head? Or, like,
don't
can
know.
you, like, tilt back a little bit and you could have, like, a little...
I'll put it in your mouth.
Little smudge.
I'm actually going to be.
They're going to be like,
I'll be in
it'll lay
MH
on top of your head.
MHC that day. So
You're
I'll
gonna
be
what?
I'll be in EMHC.
Oh, you will be.
Extraordinary
You're going to be
Minister of
distributing.
Holy Communion. Yeah. So I assume that means I'll be distributing ashes as well.
Well, you're not an extraordinary minister of ashes.
I'm not. I don't know what my title is at that point.
Regular ash giver.
Ash man. That's what I.
Can I use that?
Sure. Make sure they hear the H.
So, yeah, I talked to there's rumors growing around here around OEL where people are going to get their own ashes or make their own or get them blessed from Father and then make do the blessing on their own kids. What do you think of that?
I think it seems like it'd be
Is
fine.
that Pope approved? Can you do that?
Oh, I'm sure it would be.
Okay, let's do that.
That's fine. My kids won't be. They'll already be off to school. I mean, I guess I could do it in the morning before they leave.
Right. The problem is getting the ashes right in time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to some degree, I want to send my own son. We homeschool the other kids, but to send him off to Bishop Carroll with a nice, good cross, and then people be like, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get one of those crosses? Need one of those.
Need one of those."
But
yeah,
maybe not.
No, I don't think.
I got to go hunt down Father Weldon and get some ashes. He talked about something about. Was it in the Hispanic ministry? He talked about like having envelopes, and it was maybe a thing.
They took him home.
Yeah, they take him home. Well, here's what they did. I think it was for like the homebound that couldn't make it out, and then they put the ashes, blessed them, put them in envelopes, and then they sent them out. I can see with their kids, like a little home pack. Maybe we can get that. I don't know. All right,
is that like a snack pack?
But with ashes.
It reminds me of.
Well, so Ash Wednesday is always a big day for website stuff. Andy, one of the other owners of Salutio, he's going to be. I'm sure he's going to be spinning up some additional servers and stuff like that, like we did over Christmas. But historically, before COVID at least, because all the COVID kind of stuff hit right after Ash Wednesday. Yeah. And then
because they canceled the tournament.
Yes.
March Madness. And things went mad.
They did. So site traffic just kind of exploded after that, especially for Easter and stuff like that. But typically, Ash Wednesday is the most
the highest
traffic day of the year. So now with COVID and Ash Wednesday, I wonder how high. Here's the thing. Here's my prediction.
Well, it's going to be lower now because we just
it's going to be super low.
Oh, I don't know.
This is my prediction. Huh? Well, not super, like not.
I think it'll still be one of our highest traffic days of the year.
I don't know. Yeah. Because here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Think this through. Right. Why are they coming to the site? Why is it the most popular day? Because people want their ashes. They want their cross.
Right.
If not, they're going to get the makeup lady to do even better. If they can't get their ashes,
I don't know how many people know this.
Maybe they don't go to Ash Wednesday Mass, or maybe they don't go to the service because they don't get the thing. And so if they're not worried about getting the thing, then they don't come to the website to find out what time the Mass times are.
If people know that, but I don't think that many people know that
we're going to be sprinkling them?
Mm-hmm. I don't think that many people know that. I really don't.
Really?
I mean, yeah, when we shared that information with the rest of the people in the office, most of them didn't know that.
How would someone
know? The only reason I knew that, why did I know that?
I mean,
I told you.
There was an announcement of the Pope.
Didn't I tell you?
It's just been kind of the going.
I think I saw it on.
Was it on the advance?
Oh, I remember. Father Orr told me. Yeah, Father Orr's the one that told me that.
I can't believe you're the only person that's told me. I mean, I knew it came out from the Pope. I didn't know that we were going to be doing that. We didn't do the St. Blaise blessing.
I remember. I remember that Father Orr told me that because it was right after he smashed me in the back of the head and separated my brainstem during a game of racquetball.
Wouldn't it make sense that you didn't remember that?
I know, but I'm superhuman, and I survived the death blow, and everything after that was very vivid. So, Father Orr told me that.
And he was excited about it?
I don't think I need to share that.
I'm just trying to paint you into a corner.
I could tell.
It's not working.
It's a good thing I didn't have any beer at lunch.
I got two with me today.
I noticed.
Can you see them? Yeah. You
Trap Travis Day. I don't like that.
I know. I just want a hot take.
That's how I live at home.
A hot take.
That's how I live at home. It's constantly. I got a wife and two older daughters. It's It's always trap.
Trying
Travis.
to
Oh, I
Entrapment.
saw that one. coming.
We can rename Entrapment with Travis and Hal.
I've become very agile in my wording.
You have very political. That's my.
I don't think
favorite
it's
thing.
political.
Isn't that the definition of like when you try to like you pull the heat off to go a different direction? That's like being political. So not like your response would say father or that's political. You wouldn't. You're trying to.
Well, I would agree with that.
Okay.
But the other one wasn't about. I said the Pope says to do it.
Well, that's kind of political.
Yeah, that's what it is. The Pope says to do it.
It's true.
And I actually
All
said,
true.
I think I kind of like this because now there's not everybody's going just for the show.
Yeah.
I like that.
I know, but like
A little bit.
But it tells you something about the physicality and
Like the carnal nature of who we are as humans,
well,
which I'm okay with. I mean, that's true.
yeah.
We're carnal beings. It's intentional, but like
Well,
I remember
there's something to be said for
Father Keith up at K-State would talk about how he knew that there were non-Catholics that came to Mass on Ash
100%.
Wednesday just to get the ashes.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, again, I think it's a beautiful thing that people would want to witness. I
know,
think
but
that
say we
Ash
had-
Wednesday sometimes crosses that line over into like, I want to witness. Look at me.
I get it.
Which I do that a lot, so I know what it's
I
like.
get it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they come to Mass. Right?
Yeah.
So if there were 5 things like that, again, you can't like part of it is that it's ancient and it's traditional and like right, like there's mystic. So it's not you can go create a new tradition, like
Sure.
not like that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they come to Mass in droves, and they come to the website. So, long story short, blah blah blah. We complain a lot. Ash Wednesday will be one of your most popular days, unless I'm completely and totally right. It's just possible.
No, I'm not. I would.
It's just a different way to look at things. Like maybe not as many people come to Mass. Maybe not as many people check the website. But
I think yeah.
if history unfolds like it has in the past, then there'll be a lot of visitors to your site. So make sure that your Ash Wednesday Mass times are at the top. An alert might be a good idea. If you've got time, if your website has a graphic,
Like a slideshow.
or something like that, putting up there on the slideshow is a good idea.
And don't we
I'd
have
recommend.
those? Can't they get those off the image directory or no?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, I can bring one up, but like,
I just remember that we had like clip art. Or,
let me bring one up. We'll bring it up on our little other screen here. It's another new thing. So if I go to,
am I in the right spot or should I have been over there?
should you be where? Oh,
Yeah,
well, I
I'm-
need to see the screen. So
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure I set up in the right spot.
you're good. So you go to salutiosupport.com, and then you can go over to, so you should see this, Salutio Hour Power today. Hey, that's today. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. There's a lot of beer being drank. I'm trying here. Woo!
Just a regular old Friday.
These mics are fantastic.
That's
Okay, so you go over to Rotator Art, and then in here, depending on the size, stop
I
it.
touched your hand.
Super
It's too
wide or
close.
wide. Most people are probably wide, but there should be an Ash Wednesday here. Oh, there's a Fat Tuesday one. That's fun. So there's a few graphics in here to use. I mean, quite honestly, if I'm that one's generic, I think, right? It doesn't give a date, so that'll work. So there's some stuff out there, but quite honestly, like if you go to Canva, a lot of folks have a button on their control panel where they can create their own graphic. It's kind of nice to get your own graphic. There's other stuff out there. But anyway,
Yeah.
So if you go to salutiosupport.com, go to Rotator Art, then there's stuff in there. But another thing we've done, Travis, over the years, as we start to redesign sites and do new ones, we have a folder in there, in the Rotator folder with.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is so the reason why we kind of went away from this is the fact that like you have to know your rotator size, but if you're using it from your own site, then they're
done.
already in there. So like if I, what did I tell Jackie? St. Dom Security. I don't know. They probably have a.
And it's cold in here.
It's chilly.
It is. So just so everyone knows, it's watching this for the first time while Al navigates around and finds his place. So we're inside of a vault.
We are.
And there's not a lot of insulation. And normally I don't get cold. Right? I'm the guy that wears shorts. Not as long as your brother James, who is still wearing shorts, but you know. But I'm cold. All right, anyways. All right. I should have a beer. I'd warm up. Whiskey. Yeah.
All right.
Go.
So on the control panel, a lot of folks have these big buttons here, like a Canva rotator. You click on that, takes you to Canva, and you can make your own little, whatever, Ash Wednesday graphic using their tools. If not, then when you are in an article, we'll just hijack theirs. We'll go to the rotator here. And for most folks, when we go to change their rotator, if I have to burp, I'm not going to burp into the mic. I'm just telling you. So most folks have a rotator folder. And if you go into that, then there's a lot of different stock stuff that we put in there for you. Sometimes in the provided folder, other times we put them right in the root directory. So I need, you know what? Never mind. I need like a mute button. You can just mute yourself.
No, I'm really enjoying watching you go off to the side to burp.
I was thinking about sneezing with all these lights.
Welcome to Salutio, where professionalism is number one on our priority list.
All right. So most folks, to your point, Travis, have a folder inside, especially if they have a newer site or it's been redesigned within, I don't know, the last couple of years. We'll have a list of items. If you don't and you need some graphics, need some ideas, you can certainly go to salutiosupport.com, click on Rotator Art, and then use one of our graphics. And then, there you go.
Boom.
So we recommend that. That's a good idea. Boom. All right. Well, that kind of steps us into some questions. How about that? Yeah. Let's rock and roll. What do we got?
All right. First one up.
Boom.
Softball for you. Here we go.
All right.
Mary Alexander from Southington Catholic School in Southington, Connecticut. All right. She asks, are there online tutorials to train someone on the basics of keeping a site updated and fresh?
Well, I'm sure glad you asked, because there certainly is, Travis.
Well, tell me more.
That's a fantastic beer.
Is that with the mango?
That's a mango. I want to try the coffee, but I got to drink up.
Oh, I had a drink of one of them. It's pretty good. Yeah.
That's the whole reason I picked it. But those things are always part of sampler packs. Like, it's never like, hey, right. I want some coffee.
And there were 6 of the regular, 3 mango and 3 coffee vanilla.
Right. No, I'm the only. Right, there were only 3. Well, there were. This was the.
Oh, really?
This was the first one that got taken.
Those are really good.
Oh well.
Blue Moon.
What was our question? Okay, so if you want to know how to update the site, you're new to the site, or need a nice little reminder after a training or something like that, go to the website salutiosupport.com. Salutio's basically solution without the N, support.com. And then you're going to go to Getting Started up at the very close to the top right. On that page, a few different resources that are very helpful. One, you can download the PDF of our documentation. If I open that up, you're going to see this document, and you can print this off if you'd like, or you can kind of, again, we advocate for that. Good place to take notes. There's lots of white space in here. But basically, this will give you all of the, give you just a starting reference point to start working through the site. And then once you print that off, then go to go back to that page, and you can watch through the videos. So there's probably, I don't know, like 40, 45 minutes of video here that you can watch through. So if you want to, create hyperlinks in articles, here's a video that shows you how that's all done. Most of these are Jackie kind of just walking you through what needs to be done, and you can just watch it being done. So very convenient, very helpful videos there. And then if you're finding yourself, so you watch those videos and you're finding yourself, hey, I need a little bit more help, you can go to Help Topics. There's additional resources here, but the link I want to point out to you is to request a webinar training. So you can click on that, and then you can get you can schedule some time with Jackie to kind of do some follow-up. Now, if you are a paying what we call a pay-for client, if you're not ad-based, then there would be associated fees with this. But if not, then if you have ads on your site, like most of ours do, then you can just request a training. There's no additional fees or anything associated with that. And so that's what I'd recommend. Print the documentation, then go to Getting Started, watch those videos. If you still have questions, go to Help Topics and then request a webinar training, and that will certainly get you on good footing.
Boom.
There you go. That good?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Crushed that one. Here you go. Nailed it. All right, next one. Here we go now. All right, this is, let's see, Natalia Dominguez.
That's a fun name. What?
From Elf. Francisco. Oh, that's fun to say. That's my best Will Ferrell impersonation. Well, that and never mind.
All
All right, here we go.
Let's not get in
Here we
trouble.
go.
There we go.
All right, I was doing so good. You almost trapped me. Is that what that is? You tried to trap me. Gosh, freaking.
What name? What name is that, Travis?
Oh, Francisco. Okay, enough. Natalia Dominguez. Thank you for submitting the question, Natalia. All right, it's from the San Juan Nursing Home down there in San Juan, Texas. How do I create a fillable application on the website? So I'm suspecting that this is for their job, like online job applications. So take it away, Al.
Take it away.
Just not too far. Don't take it too far.
All right, so let's go over to St. Agnes Kirkwood.
Oh, yeah.
I think they've got one, if I remember right. This is not it.
That's Stages. I don't know what that is.
What am I doing?
Wait, are you trying to go to the Child Development Center?
No, to the nursing home out there.
Yeah.
I can't see this far away.
Oh my gosh.
What?
That makes me so happy because I said, those seem kind of far away.
We need bigger TVs in here. Kirkwood Nursing
Missouri.
Home.
Oh, yeah. And you were like, it'll be fine.
There's no, it's A-N-G. Angus.
Angus?
Yeah, no, probably. I should know that. My daughter's name is Agnes, but I couldn't see that far away. Okay.
Because I warned you.
I'm going to pass? Okay.
All right.
So, from what I remember, they have a thing, and I'm just working with my wonderful memory.
Do you want me to look?
I'm looking.
I know, but you have a
And
lot
look
of
away.
pauses so you can look away.
Job opportunities. Maybe this is it.
Super.
Complete an online application.
All right, good job.
Okay. So this uses this uses JotForm, but you see the kind of application here. And this right now this punches you out to a separate page, but it wouldn't have to. It can live inside the site too. This technique works either way, just depending on your preference.
Actually,
but this kind of isolates people away from the site and focuses them on the application. So you've got an application. It can have required fields. You can, it can give you a little warning message. It's very interactive and whatever the case might be.
You could actually show them
very
on
complex
our
form.
website. You could show them on our website too.
What? Oh, our little application.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Which actually I should disable that because we're not hiring right now. Go ahead.
We're done. All full.
Awful.
And so, wow, agreement, acknowledgement, and authorization. They got a lot there. So electronic signature, all kinds of stuff. Actually, you can put in a signature where you can trace your finger. There's all kinds of fun stuff. So JotForm is typically a program that we recommend if you need more of a complex form like this. And if that's the case, let us know. There are fees associated with JotForm just because there's fees that we incur and stuff like that. So we just kind of pass that through. But it is a very full-featured program that can create some amazing forms that look like this. I mean, this is a very complex form. Looks nice, and then it can send that information to the person that is that wants to get that information on the other end. So who's ever processing the applications for employment, but then also sends a receipt back to the person that filled out the item that says, hey, we got your form. We'll be in contact in a few days, something like that. So very full featured. You can do different things where it has different rules. Like if you click this, then reveal these fields and stuff like that. I had there's a parish in Omaha where they have this awesome form where if you want to request something to be in, if you request to have something into their bulletin or Facebook page or their electronic sign, you have this form and you fill out where you want it. And then if you want it on the electronic sign, then it opens up a new field that asks you for the file, the graphics and stuff like that. So anyway.
Who does that?
St. Robert's.
That's cool.
Well, I think they're kind of implementing it. They're asking me some advice around it and stuff like that. So long story short, JotForm, very awesome. It's kind of the deluxe package. There are fees associated with it, and some like monthly fees that get paid for that service. Another option could be Google Forms, and that is free, and it is a little more limited in its layout and format. It can't take payment.
It has gotten better.
It has gotten better. It doesn't do like a signature where you can sign with your finger and stuff like that, but it is better. It is pretty decent.
JotForm can also do things like inventory. So like if you've got only so much.
Oh, then it starts to tick off how much you have of inventory. Yeah, some pretty awesome stuff. So that's an option. Okay, so JotForm is an option. Google Forms is an option. It's free, less flexible, but decent. Also, it's a little more restrictive around how do you get the applications. So when you get them back, you have to be signed in with the Google account. So it can email you that you've got one. Yeah. But the nice thing about JotForm is we can have somebody that's not a user of JotForm and just have a notification go to that person. The Google Forms is you have to be authenticated.
Right.
It's just Google. There's a little more overhead, but
it's free.
It's free. There you go. This parish, I'm pretty sure we have our wrong one. There's RCA. We also have a PDF filler subscription, and so we can convert your PDF forms into a fillable form that then fills it all out. And then at the end of the day, it will send an email with the PDF that's all merged in together, which is pretty cool. So this is an example of that. So if I go to parish registration here, it opens up in PDF filler, and how this works is they get a little welcome message. It tells them, hey, this is our form to get registered with our parish or whatever else. Then they click on Get Started, and then in a second or two, once that loads, they'll get a very fillable PDF on how that all works.
Man, I didn't know we did this.
Yeah, pretty cool. So, and it can be pretty, complex, and this is a very complex form. And at the end of the day, the end user, they just click Done, and then they get a message to say, thanks for filling this out, and it sends a PDF with it all completed and filled in to the front office or whatever. So for those that want a PDF and to kind of stick to that, this is a pretty good, it doesn't it doesn't go into a table as a table row, or then you could copy and paste it, but you'd have to do it out of each registration. So, but But again, you can get super complex with the layout, and it retains the same kind of format as maybe other paper registrations that you're getting in. So that's pretty cool. So that's another option. With that, right now we don't have any fees if we're converting it for you. Like say if you're an ad client, if you're a pay for client, you would just have to pay for the process for us to create the form, which shouldn't be too expensive, and then we have it sent to your email whenever there's results. So
$50 or less.
Yeah. I couldn't even this form where it's complex. Most of it all, as long as you have it in a PDF or a Word document format, and it's easy for us to just flip the switch, then that'd be it. But if we had to you had this photocopy from 10 years ago, and you kept photocopying it, and then you had
it or something.
Yeah, and then you it had 800 fields. It may be more than $50 worth of work to do so.
Makes sense.
So that's another option. Those are the two main.
3. You gave
3.
Yep.
Suggested options. So depending on your need and if you want to stay, completely, you're more flexible and you want to make sure that it's more inexpensive, then, just depending on those parameters.
And
it might be different.
There is, like Natalia, some people go out and they get the Adobe Suite, so Adobe PDF.
I don't know
100%
if that exists anymore.
I'm pretty sure it does.
There's a component
they tried to sell me it the other day when I was
filling
out. Well, I was filling out a PDF, and then it gave me the options. I could buy it if I wanted to.
I think they had. Well, they must have changed it up then, or something, because there was one that was like forms.adobe.com or something like that.
I think that's dead.
Okay.
They rolled it into like a suite type of thing.
Okay.
Where now you have to just pay for the pro or whatever, and then
Gotcha.
you get all these.
Typically, those things are more expensive. A decent amount.
I was thinking it was like $10 a month. Maybe I could be wrong.
That's similar to the job form. But quite frankly, if you did the PDF filler, you don't pay a monthly fee. You pay once, get it converted over, and you're in good shape. But
that's true.
There you go. Okay. That's a couple questions.
Just
a couple.
Let's see if there's anything else. I'm also curious how much it is. Oh, I yield. It's 15 a month.
15 a month.
There you go. Okay. I think that's it.
Okay.
But hold on, I'll look one more time. Unless somebody throws something into the chat real fast. So no more have been submitted.
So I wanted to just touch on real quickly some questions we had around tables. And so the good folks over there at the Catholic Foundation of Michigan, I think the entire state, they had some questions. Some of the things that have been really tough for them lately is around like just some of the formatting things. And so quite honestly, this all comes down to some issues around mobile. Mobile it's tough. And actually just what we call a responsive design. So basically here's the rub, and I had a conversation with somebody out there here just a few minutes ago who was very kind and understanding, but they use a different program. They use WordPress, and the thing is almost all of our clients use Joomla, a variant of that we've modified. That's just kind of the path we decided to go down. WordPress is a fine option. Lots of people use it, but it just kind of isn't for us. And a lot of our questions deal very specifically with WordPress, and so we didn't think it was necessarily the right thing to have on the show.
Was the right.
This is not the right avenue for that, since it really doesn't pertain to almost any of our clients.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about that, we were talking about tables and a little bit of layout. Well, this would pertain, and I think we're gonna add on a little bit onto her styles page. So on almost every site that we do, there is a secret page that if you just go to your normal website, so say that's stdominicsecurity.com, you put a /styles at the end, and it will take you to this hidden page. So this isn't available via the menu. It's like only for administrators. And I think on pretty much every site we have now, if you go to whatever your website is /styles, then you'll land here. We're doing our part to continue to enhance this, right? Because mobile responsive design is just right. It's a whole picnic that we've had to figure out and how to deal with, right? Because you got devices like an iPad, you got devices like a phone, you've got desktops, like what you see up here on your screen. You just got all kinds of different screen sizes, and they got to look good on all those different screen sizes. Well, back in the old day, we used to have paper. We have a format. This is 8.5. Oh, this isn't, but 8.5 by 11. This is
not unless you're a giant. We're actually giants.
I'm actually 10 foot tall.
8.5 by
this
11.
tiny little writing instrument. Okay, anyway. So
it's good when we find each other funny because I'm going to guess
somebody's laughing.
The internet may not.
Enough alcohol. We're in shape. So, all right. So in paper, right, we had the 8.5 by 11, and you can determine exactly where everything is. You know, like this is going to be, 1/4-inch margins, and we're going to put this much, and this is where that word's going to wrap around. And have you ever been in a spot where you're like, you had like too much space at the end, so you like press a space bar and you like make an extra wrap of that deal. Yeah. You can do all that with paper because this is it.
Yeah.
Online, there's a million devices, and they're all different sizes and different size windows and whatever else, right? So you run into all these issues with sizing. So this is where responsive design comes in. Responsive design looks at the size of your, the width of your window, for instance, and then it makes things dynamically bigger or smaller based on that. So that way it's still viewable on a phone. It might, maybe even not even just sizes, but even layouts, right? So something goes from being like columns, right? So if I look at St. Dom's Security here and I look down, right? So I've got say these buttons that are all horizontal. Well, if I go down to a smaller screen, right? They get a little bit smaller. Oop. And then if I shrink this up further, we can kind of emulate what a phone would look like, right? Now we get these vertical buttons, okay? And how those are laid out, and maybe the picture now gets put on top and put the text down below on the rotator. But a lot of things get swapped around and placed in different positions in order to make this a very pleasant, phone on experience on a phone. Right? So you flip through with your thumb, it still looks good. And that's a lot of part of the nerdy details that we take out, right? And then all of a sudden you zoom back out and you got all these things side by side and larger images, right? We got to do all that on the fly, make it look good, but yet make it simple for the end user. That's why, Joomla, we found it, we can kind of manipulate it, bend it to our will to make it manipulate and do pretty well like that. And you can certainly do that with WordPress, and there's different tricks like that. But one of the things that has kind of come out of that and the new HTML5 standard, I say new, it's probably been around for quite some time, but is these flex tables. So we've started to get more aggressive about using them as we've experienced more and more of our traffic is coming from mobile devices. So we got to take that more and more seriously all the time. So as I scroll down here a little bit, some of our newer clients will have these items down here that will lay out some different types of flex tables. Actually, it's actually this section right here, which it's hard to see because they don't have borders. But, and I wonder, yeah, there you go. So you can see on an equal table, the code that gets put into here. Oh, because we're also doing it, I'll explain here in a second. We're also doing some, what do we call them? We call them templates. And I'll show you that here in a second. Or snippets. I think it's snippets, code snippets. So the thing that makes these things work, right? Because in the old day when you had a table, again, it was a little bit more like the piece of paper, right? You can kind of control, this is how many columns, this is how many rows. Well, the problem becomes when you have something that's, say, 5 or 6 columns, now when you shrink it up, now you've got a whole mess on your hands. So what we do instead is we take it, if it's in one of these equal tables, and we can just be flexible, and we all of a sudden we start stacking it instead. The flex table, the equal table, right? Equal table puts them as each cell is equal width, right? So even if something is really long, it puts them all in the same size or width of box.
Okay.
The flex table, how we have it is every box takes up as much room as it needs. So it's a flexible framework, right? So these all take up a little bit a smaller space. The one that has a lot of text, the cell, it takes up more room. And so actually, if I get an in-between size in here, you can kind of see, right? This one even wraps to the next line. So there's just a lot of flexibility depending on how we configure it. But more and more of that's coming along. And then we've got where it alternates rows. We've got where it gives you like a heading row on the left-hand side. So if you had like, that's where your titles were for your different rows. You could put it there. You can do the same thing with header. This would be more like a spreadsheet where you have the headers at the top.
Makes sense.
So, and all of that's brought to you in kind of a new way that we're adding in called insert templates. So if I click on that, there's different, like an equal table, there's a flex table, left header. So it kind of gives you an example. So it's our we're striving of how do we have this flexibility to make things look like we want, but yet how do we make them look like we want, but yet react in different ways in different situations for different screen sizes? So now I say all this, right? But this is really not something that you can get on WordPress. Right? So this little widget, I'm sure there's probably some plugin or whatever else. But so anybody that I'm talking to, this would probably retain to your site, except for if those two organizations that I'd listed earlier. So now if I insert one of these in, at behind the scenes, this one actually is a table structure. To edit some of them, you'll have to go into the HTML to put them into their respective positions. But at least we'll give you the framework. So if I do this one, oh, there you go. Okay. So that is plugged in. It's probably into an actual table. We're just displaying it as part of this Flex framework. But you get something that's a little bit more, manipulatable. And has alternating rows automatically. So if I add additional rows, for instance, then it's going to automatically put those as different colors. So, and that's something that's new. It's not on every site that we do, but it's on many. If you're listening to this podcast and you want it on your site, just kind of let us know, and we'll kind of add it on. We add it on as we redesign websites and things like that. That's a lot of times how our new features go. But if somebody requests it specifically, we'll add it on. But it'll be under this button that says Insert Template, and then we'll insert these different templates. The cool part about that, too, is it's customizable per site. So if there's like weird techniques that we used for a different position where we've got like a picture on one side and a nice quote with curly writing on one side, like we can create that framework where it'll put in that block for you, and then you just go and replace the text in the picture. So nice. It gives us some ability to use some more complex structures, but yet make that a little bit more understandable. So that's the balance. That's the balancing game we play of how do we make things look cool but yet easy to use. And sometimes when things are really cool looking, they are harder
to do. I get it.
So templates help out with that. And for the folks there at the Catholic Foundation of Michigan, I think we're going to kind of enhance your styles page to make it that hidden page that we saw on the other site, and to make it a little bit more robust so you can kind of see how some of that code's done. So there you go.
Awesome. I'm dancing. Sorry.
That was you got to stay warm out here.
I got to stay warm.
Yeah. Sorry.
My wife sent me. I'm sorry.
I have. By all means.
My wife sent me, so it's going to be really cold here in Kansas. And she sent me a meme earlier this morning about the 5 or 6 signs, I think 5 signs of hypothermia, that you're succumbing to hypothermia. Mm-hmm. I read through them. Here, I'll just share them with you quickly.
Might I say that the most shared meme in Kansas will probably be, what's the Shining?
Oh, yeah.
Where the guy's freezing.
Right.
Jack Nicklaus?
Jack Nicklaus, yeah.
Yeah.
Warning signs of hypothermia: confusion, shivering, difficulty speaking, sleepiness, stiff muscles. I reply back, I feel like those are just the signs of too much whiskey.
Also correspond.
But she didn't laugh. She didn't
laugh?
I think that was fine.
Man, that's kind of like serious. I thought it was going to be like this joke from the beginning.
That's not
Only
true.
you were funny.
She said this. She laughed. All right.
They can't see that. That's like 4 miles away.
Really?
Yeah, they ain't seeing that.
They saw it now. All right.
Classy.
No one. I don't think anybody's watching anymore. Oh no, we still have 3. Sorry.
I haven't killed them up yet. Well, one's right there. So
I know. Well,
and 2 of them are probably in the office.
Okay. Well, that's all we got.
But people will probably watch it afterwards.
Oh, thousands. Thousands.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, that'll do it for this Salute You Hour Power. We're back in the mix, doing it again. It was just like last month. A lot of things going on, and
man, we missed last month. I know.
Kind of That's the first time in a while.
It's true.
But now we got the studio and kind of just walk in, log in, start streaming. It's pretty cool.
And we don't, there's no cords that you got to deal with. Monitors you got to turn around, mics you got to reposition.
Oh,
all that stuff that we did and didn't work and then did work. It's just better. Less pressure on you.
All right. So thanks for joining us. We'll be back next month. We'll get some other dates set out there, and we'll talk to you next time. The address, go to solutiosoftware.com/power. You can ask your questions, and we'll do our best to answer those or make an excuse why we can't.
Yeah.
All right.